Okay, now we're going to start compiling a little bit a list of content. You're going to need content if you're going to rank because bottom line, no matter what you do, it's going to have some form of content or another. So what I usually do, I open up a notepad. I will go to the keywords that I compiled, copy, paste, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write title. And then I just start making a list of different titles that I can use, whether it's for articles, whether it's for directory submissions, whether it's for Web 2.0 properties. I'm making a list of titles that are relevant. And basically the formula that you want to always use for your contents, for your writers, whether you write the content yourself or you outsource it, which I'm going to give you a lot of good resources on how to use articles effectively and everything like that. But basically you want to get content that basically the keyword always needs to be in the title. So here we go. The keyword phrase in this one was, or the one that we're going after was poker tables for sale. And then this basically says used poker tables for sale. So I would actually cut out the for sale, and maybe because we're looking for buyers, we're looking for people that are interested. So this is how you get a wide variety of different titles to use. Because if you're going out there, what happens a lot of time is if you go out there, if you're using the exact same tags or keywords for all of your bookmarking sites with the exact same description, with the exact same title, then the search engines are actually going to filter it out because they're going to see, it's not about duplicate content. And let me just kind of clarify duplicate content. Duplicate content, a lot of people are afraid about it, but what it really says about duplicate content, if you read the statutes under the Google Webmaster, is it's only penalized if you're putting the same exact content on the same exact site just for the sake of saying, hey, this site, is all about this one keyword phrase. It's all about, appearing naturally within the search engine. So they don't care if you have the same article at 3,000 different article hubs, so you don't have to worry about that, or across all your Web 2.0 networks. That's fine, but one thing I would suggest doing is you can use the same content, but switch out the tags and switch out the title, because you can maintain a lot more rankings. So instead of just having poker tables for sell.net in the rankings, then you can also have, it looks like, hey, poker tables for sell, then we can use, buy used poker tables, but this might be a Squidoo lens, or, then we can have cheap poker tables for sell, or cheap poker table reviews, or, poker tabletop. So we're using a variety of different titles, so it appears that it's a different result, because even though you might be able to rank across, multiple, having a Squidoo, having your site, having your hub pages up, or your e-sign articles up on the same page, think about it in the mind of the consumer. If they go and if they see, 5 to 6 or 7 of the exact same content on the first page, chances are, you're going to be getting a lot more traffic. But I know if I looked at that, I'm going to be like, hey, this is all the same thing, so I automatically discredit it all. But imagine if you had different titles or different descriptions, even if it's the same content, then you have a chance of getting that repeat click. And then studies show that if you want somebody to buy from your site, you have to get them to come back to your site about 7 times, and the best way to do that is to randomize your title tags. And it's also just it's just a good practice overall. But basically, we're trying to get people to buy poker tables, so the title really needs to convey that. That way we get not only just traffic and rankings, but we're getting targeted traffic of people who actually want to buy. So right here, poker tables for sale, then we're going to add, buy used poker tables. We're adding the word buy because somebody looking at that, if they click on it, they automatically know, whether it's subconsciously or not, that, hey, this site's going to be selling poker tables, so they're only going to be clicking on it if they're looking to sell. We're looking to buy poker tables. So this other one would be, I would use for an article or bookmarking or anything else, poker tables for sale. And then, cheap poker table reviews. or something like that. So you see what you're doing is you're not going out there spamming the search engines just with your primary keyword phrase, which is poker tables for sale. This title automatically has more weight. It automatically it gives you not only the main keyword but relevant keywords that Google says it's relevant. So it's giving you multiple. It's kind of giving you a power pack duo in a way, for lack of a better terms, because now the search engine is going to look at that and says, hey, this not only poker tables for sale, but it's buy used poker tables, which is we already recognize as relevant. So then chances are you're going to have better rankings than just using the single poker tables for sale. So what I like to do is always use my primary keyword phrase first, and then use a secondary related keyword second, and then that way I'm just kind of getting the most out of the titles. And then what you're going to do then is whenever you're structuring your content, what I do is, like in Notepad, I'll do title, then I'll just put tags. And I'm just going to go through a quick example. I'm not going to go through the whole process of generating content right now, just for the sake of time. But the tags is definitely going to be your primary one first. Poker table for sale. Then what are some of the variations that we can put in there that Google itself says is relevant? So it'd be poker tables for sale, cheap poker tables. Excuse me, it's going to be used poker tables reviews. What else can we do? Poker table tops, poker sets, poker table buyers guide, which, believe it or not, is a pretty good keyword term. So I'm just going to basically create a list of tags. And how many tags do you want to use? What I say is whenever you're coming up from tags, and tags is going to be used with your bookmarking, I'm going to explain that later, but I always say write out 6 to 8 different tags. You're not going to use all of those on all of your content sites. Basically, you're only going to use anywhere between 3 to 4 tags. But what's going to happen is let's say right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I would do is maybe like on one of the bookmarking sites, I would use this title, but then I might only use these 3 tags. And then on the next bookmarking site, I might have this title, but then I might use these tags instead. So it's appearing to be natural and relevant, and it has it doesn't leave a footprint, which we're going to go into a little bit later. So this is basically how you want to start setting up your structure of your content is, create your title, create your tags. As soon as you get your titles and tags, then you're going to want your content. So on your content, what are some things that you're going to be looking for? You're going to be looking for, some of the things that you're going to be looking to get done for you, or to do, I should say, is you're going to want about 500 words in your article. And the reason for that is because that has a lot of content, a lot of weight. A lot of the article submission sites won't take it unless it's at least 500 words. So if you do 500 words, that has a lot of value in and of itself. So 500 words would be about the size of the article or more that you want to shoot for. Another thing that you're going to want to do is have a keyword density of about 2%. And what that means is whenever you're writing your content, your keyword phrase, which could be either your primary, like poker tables for sale, or your secondary list that you compiled from using the Wonder Wheel and the Google related search. But you're going to want those in there about 2 times for every 100 words. So you basically, out of a 500 word article, you're going to have about 10 keywords in there. And it's not just repetitively using your primary keyword. If you use your primary primary keyword over and over and over again, then it's automatically make the value of your backlinking or your content go down, because Google is going to pick that up, and some of these other search engines are going to pick that up and say, hey, this doesn't really make sense. They're obviously trying to keyword stuff, and it's actually going to make your keyword go, or your rankings go down. So basically, if you want to sustain your rankings, structure your content like this, about a 2% density rate. And the last thing you're going to want to do is have an anchor text link to close out your article. And this could be as a form of a author resource or bio or a call to action. And I'm going to get a little bit more into the do's and don'ts of anchor text in a little bit. But what we're doing here, I'm just kind of giving you overall foundation, overall knowledge of basically how you need to start setting up and properly do your backlinking campaigns. We haven't got into the generating backlinks yet, but I'm just showing you this is exactly how I start my backlink campaigns. So basically, go out there, start creating your titles with your primary, your secondary keywords. Get a list of between 6 to 8 tags. Get a content either written or write it yourself, about 500 words with the keyword density at 2. I should say a maximum of 3%. Anything over 3%, then you actually do more harm than good. So don't try to go in there and stuff the keywords. The keywords need to flow naturally, because the search engines are smart. The algorithms they got are smart. And then basically now we're going to go on to the do's and don'ts of the anchor text. And then basically a lot of the common mistakes a lot of people do with the anchor text. So that's it for this video. Go out and start generating your content, and as soon as you're ready, go on to the next video.